What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven, and today we are back with another installment of Secret Strategies, the monthly video series where we take a deep dive into the strategies that the top players are using in the Go Battle League. Now, this video is going to cover everything from the past month, so we'll be looking at the entire month of March 2020, and you can check back in May to see what we've been playing in the Ultra League and Master League all throughout April. This, as always, is done to just make sure our strategies stay top secret, and we get to use them to get rank 10 before any of you scrubs. So let's get into it. What's the team composition? I'm sure you are all dying to know, and we're going to start off first by discussing our lead Pokemon. Obviously, when you are picking your lead Pokemon, the key characteristic that you should be looking for is its intimidation factor. In a game of quick decisions, getting your opponent to make the wrong one by throwing them off balance can be the difference between a win and a loss. That's why when we talk about leading Pokemon at GamePress.gg, what we're talking about are Pokemon with the scariest animations, the ones that bring the most fear into your opponent's hearts. And we looked none other than at Quagsire. A lot of trainers want to look at analysis and see which Pokemon have the strongest matchups, but what you really need to do is just pop over to Google and type in strongest, most badass, awesome Pokemon. And whichever Pokemon you see pop up, that's probably the one that you want to use in your Go Battle League team. And Google, I would say, is the best way to find Pokemon Go related information in general. Just make sure to start all of your Google searches with the keyword GamePress, and you should be able to find anything you need. While some decisions in Pokemon Go really do come down to just pure emotion, there is room for crunching the numbers a little bit and doing some data analysis. And that's exactly what we did for our second Pokemon. Combined, the GamePress staff has over 200 plus years of experience in the Go Battle League. We analyzed over 9,000 individual gameplay videos, and it should be no surprise which Pokemon comes out on top in the Great League. Now, some players will shy away from this Pokemon because they don't want to use overused or legendary Pokemon, and I get that, but if you want to be the best, you gotta battle with the best. And that's why the second Pokemon on our team is none other than Bibarel. Trust me, this guy is just worth all of the Stardust and rare candy that you're willing to put into him. He's just that good. The third and final Pokemon on this video's featured team is none other than Honchkrow. 2 years ago to the day, Murkrow's Shiny was released into Pokemon Go, so this team was kind of created to celebrate. I think it's fair to say that I, started with Honchkrow in the team and then said, okay, what other dumb Pokemon can I put in here to fill this out? Because that is really what this team is about, celebrating Honchkrow's 2-year Shinyversary. But it's not just a team, it's not just a concept. Oh no, we got some games here, so let's jump into those games right now. The first game that we are going to be showing off is against a Whiscash, and we're going to go ahead and switch out into our Honchkrow because we don't have to worry about these mud bombs against Whiscash. So we will just be using our Dark Pulses, and that's basically enough to get Cash down. And when we use our second Dark Pulse here and they shield, then we have a pretty good idea a blizzard is coming. Winter is coming. So we go ahead and shield that blizzard and then throw a Dark Pulse off at the Probo Pass before our Honchkrow dies. So we switch back into Quagsire, or not switch, but we go back into Quagsire after our Honchkrow dies because we can resist all of Probopass's charge moves and then fire off an Earthquake to just take it down nice and easily. Then Whiscash comes back in, and I am going to go ahead and Stone Edge it just to preserve Quagsire's life here. I do farm it up a little bit more after that because they were building to a blizzard again, apparently. But we will block that Mud Bomb and then fire off an Earthquake at the Toxicroak, and that's all she wrote. For our second match here, our Quagsire is up against a Munchlax. And I don't know how many times I have to say this, people, but do not bring baby Pokemon into the Go Battle League. Their little hearts just cannot take it. As you can see, Quagsire is a menace to society, and Munchlax is a baby Pokemon. He didn't really stand a chance. So we are going to be able to take this Munchlax down. They aren't even going to shield. They have no clue what's going on here. And we farm them down, so we should be able to fire off a Stone Edge at the next Pokemon, but it's a Rosalia that kills us immediately. So I go into Honchkrow, which can resist Rosalia's attacks, and I fire off some Dark Pulses. I don't know why, but why not? And our opponent is going to shield both of our Dark Pulses here, though, and take our Rosalia down. When we go into Bidoof, for some reason they switch. I think they just know Bibarel beats everything, so they want to switch and get out of there. That allows us to one-shield the Bastiodon and then just farm it down and prepare a Hyper Fang for when Rosalia comes back into play. So we shield this Sludge Bomb and then Hyper Fang the Rosalia, and there you go. Bibarel beats everything. For match 3, we have Quagsire up against a Skarmory lead. And we are just going to try to Stone Edge this thing down while getting into our opponent's heads. And I think you'll see that the psychological factors of the Quagsire will eventually just be enough to make our opponent fold under the pressure here. So we're throwing some Stone Edges. Our opponent shields. We are going to match their shield here just to try to get one more Stone Edge off before our Quagsire dies. And that is going to be enough to burn the second shield. I'm going to switch over into Honchkrow just to preserve my Quagsire. Just the fact that it's still there should be enough to get into my opponent's head. They don't know when it's coming back, what it's doing, and that should just be enough to freak them out. So a Sky Attack basically kills our Honchkrow, and then the Metagross comes in to finish it off. We bring in Bibarel against Metagross, and I have to shield this Meteor Mash. I know it's not very effective, but Meteor Mash is just such a strong move from such a strong Pokemon that I want to shield that move. Then we're able to get a little bit of energy off the back end of Metagross, and we're up against Swampert with one shield. Now, Hydro Cannon is also not very effective, but another really good move. So right before their second Hydro Cannon, I switch into my Quagsire again, catch that wave, and then come back and Surf's up. I'm able to surf down their Swampert and win the match. For our fourth matchup here, we are going to be up against Whiscash yet again, and I don't like this matchup. We will have to switch out because our charge attacks can't really do anything against Whiscash, and they cost a lot more energy to use. So we're going to go ahead and build some energy on Quagsire before switching over to Honchkrow, and we are now going to threaten Whiscash with some Dark Pulses. Now, the fact that they just used a Mud Bomb means that they are pretty far away from Blizzard. I was trying to catch a Mud Bomb on the switch there. I think my opponent, the Quagsire, was so in their head that they didn't know what to do here. So they stayed into the Whiscash. They shielded a Dark Pulse, which means, hey, winter is coming. So we shield their Blizzard, fire off another Dark Pulse, and that is enough to get that cash out of here. So we are up a Pokemon, up a shield, and I'm going to go for some Sky Attacks on this Azumarill. Only great Sky Attacks. You never need to go for excellent flying type charge moves in Pokemon Go. You always want to go for great ones, and that's why you see me going for them there. We switch into Bibarel for Azumarill. That is a super winning matchup, obviously. We will have to shield here to protect it against the Altaria switch in, but two Hyper Fangs, as we just have enough energy to use, are enough to take that Altaria down, and now we have a Quagsire with a whole bunch of energy, so I'm going to fire off a Stone Edge and then switch into the Honchkrow, which will eat an Ice Beam, and that will give us enough time to farm up another Stone Edge and finish off my opponent's Azumarill. There is a chance I should have gone for the Earthquake there, but because I had the Murkrow in the back, I just didn't want to chance it. I figured I could make the same play that I just made in the last video where I use a Sacrificial Switch, and that would let me get 2 Stone Edges off pretty cleanly. So yeah, there we go. There's another win, and we're on to Game 5. Now, for Game 5, I don't know any matchups or anything like that, but if you look at my opponent's Pokemon, it looks pretty dumb. Mine looks pretty good, so my opponent's going to go ahead and go on Get, and I'm going to throw a Stone Edge at the switched in Azumarill. I do have to be a little bit wary about Ice Beams here, and I decided to throw some Dark Pulses because I just couldn't get the fingering right to get those excellent Sky attacks. So I'm just going to go for Dark Pulses here for right now, even though that is a not very effective move. I mean, it looks pretty effective to me, so who knows? The Play Rough is going to be able to kill our Honchkrow, and then we can farm down the last little bit of the Azumarill. My opponent's going to bring in Deoxys against Quagsire, and that's great because we don't have to care about any of Deoxys's charge moves. We will have to care about the charge moves here from the Registeel, so I am going to go ahead and shield that Flash Cannon, but then I'm going to switch into Bibarel. The main reason that I switch into Bibarel here, other than it resisting the Flash Cannon, it would have been super effective if my opponent used some Focus Blast here, but I guess they didn't have the Focus Blast, or honestly, they were probably just too thrown off their game by the Quagsire, if I could have any guess. But we want to get this Bibarel out of the way because this Bibarel is going to die super quick to Deoxys' counters like it just did. So we'll bring Quagsire back in and Earthquake away. And then we got to get to one last Earthquake before our opponent can Focus Blast. But again, they just Flash Cannon. So we go for the Earthquake yet again. And that is enough to make us 5-0 with this stellar team. Obviously, you can see now why this team is so good, how it utilizes both the mind, getting into their mind with Quagsire, the body, the buff Bibarel, and then also the soul, celebrating the 2-year shiny-versary of Honchkrow into Pokemon Go, which was released in April 1st of 2018, 2 years before this video and article. On a more serious note here, guys, I hope that this video can also show that you can win with almost anything in the Go Battle League with the right team compositions and strategies and using their moves. And as I showcased also, sometimes not even using the right moves. So hopefully that gives you guys out there some inspiration and makes you want to try some interesting teams, or at the very least just jump into the Go Battle League with whatever you got. For now, though, that's going to be it for me, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Leave a like to let me know you enjoyed, and leave a comment down below to let me know what you want to see in the future. What other crazy ideas do you have for Go Battle League teams that you want to see? As you can see, I'm willing to play them. I like to mix it up a little bit on my channel here. I've previously played in the Go Battle League using only Toxic Cup Pokemon, but I will also use some meta teams from time to time too, so subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, guys, that's it for me. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace!